So here we are. You guys are working extremely hard, I know, but I
Get a
think
close-up of this part.
working extremely hard, but one of the things that we do need to do is kind of formulate how we're going to finish now, and how what is our task at hand to get this movie so that we can clearly have prints by the end of March.
The one relentless thing, calendar-wise, is VisFX. That's the thing that once we run out of time, we're done.
Right.
And so I want to make sure that they're not waiting, because oftentimes they have people hot bunking and working around the clock at these vendors, and if I don't get in there when they need me,
Absolutely.
there are people waiting, and at a certain point the bell's going to ring and we're not going to get those shots in, and that's honestly the most concerning part of the process to me right now.
As of today, we have 162 outstanding shots, out of which 22 were always the Gomera ones for March
Right.
21st. So outstanding is 140.
The caveat, though, really, ultimately is going to be Iron Man's voice, because no one's ever seen it actually as something that really works yet.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those things, it's just like your VFX, until they work, they don't work, and it's like...
And it could mean pulling out a lot of lines or adding lines and stuff like that.
yeah, the character of the film just is radically altered, so that's the one
That he's
shared
gonna have to
discovery
really-
that he'll have a lot
Yeah.
to say about.
Is
And
it the
that's-
same for Monger too, or no?
Yes,
Probably.
it is.
Because he hasn't heard Reel 4 yet, where you're actually...
And maybe even Jarvis.
Yeah,
there's
start,
some lines.
it doesn't really start till Reel 5, because we
Right.
don't use
Okay.
Iron
First
Man
Flight,
voice
yeah.
in First Flight.
Now the space battle stuff, because it's such an important story point, and because there's so many moving parts between ADR, performance, robot voices, the effects themselves, the music, all the things are going to sort of come together
Yeah.
and have to pay off in a way that I'm not completely confident in. A big thing that we're going to have to dial and understand as we see the shape of it in the cut and as all the finals lay in is the degree of ice that's on him. And that's going to be all Ben over there. And that's going to be something where I think we're going to be really dialing in and out more than we have with most of the shots we've been working with them.
Once
You know.
again, to be honest with you, Charlie, I just honestly think we're not gonna, we'll need to go through that weekend, and I think just to get this thing mixed, just to get up to the playback on the 17th. I'm just,
So you want to be mixing all the way through to the 17th to get a playback? Well, then
I'm
we
just
won't
being
make-
real with this pace, you know, of what we're trying to do and what's all going on here.
Now I told him no soul patch on
no soul
Rhodey
patch,
in
yeah.
his Air Force one, but
That's
that one I think
great.
was already done.
No, these are awesome.
So
How do we get them?
they'll be
We'll get 'em.
toys. You'll be able to purchase them. Yeah, or I mean I can send them to you, but they'll be like in the toy store.
Talking about Jeremy?
Come on, you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Look at that one. The Mark I's awesome.
It's pretty great.
Very cool.
That's the best Monger.
Yeah, isn't that awesome?
He's sick. That's the best toy yet.
How do you feel about that, Manny?
Yeah, that's better.
Just generally, I
I
guess.
think it'll. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know. It's not really worth chasing, really.
Okay.
Well, it's just this one shot.
Yeah. Can we see just what is it
Okay,
about the color
we'll
that
do
seems
that.
a little
I'll-
See the blue on the left there? Maybe we can use that as a guide to try to swing it more
Okay.
away from that.
All right. Let's
It's hard to really read it on the glass.
This is also, but you see how I'm swinging it away from the red and the skin
Yeah,
tone?
no, that's fantastic.
Okay, great.
That's kind of where I wanted to go.
Let's try.
It's a very interesting time now, and I remember this on other movies, and boy, you don't know what's going to happen. This could be anything from a flop to a moderate single, you know, where you get on base and you just keep plugging along in your career, to something that, you know, where it's beyond what people's expectations are. I honestly don't know. I'm sort of the worst person to handicap that kind of thing right now. I'm in the worst seat in the house. I'm right in the thick of things. I don't know where we are.
Can you click it up maybe a hair?
Yeah.
Right now I'm worried about the minutia. Right now there's still shots from ILM we're waiting to get back. I don't know if that space battle is going to pay off. You know, I'm still in the sound mix, the DI. We're still making picture changes. That's just the nature of things. You know, this non-linear style of post-production, it used to be you would lock a movie, you do the music, and then you'd sit back and mix at this point. Well, we're still making picture changes. Ramin's still composing score cues for us if it doesn't quite fit. We're dancing as fast as we can. And then I'm going to be promoting the thing all around the world.
don't mind it though.
Hey.
I think if it was just
So
up,
we're
it would be
talking
less
like on the
saturated
posters,
back
looks
there.
like a Star Wars poster.
This is a bit of a fever pitch. We're getting all the shots in. We're trying to finish them up. All the work of 2 years is all paying off now. We showed it to some people. We've shown like an unfinished version to like Paramount foreign distributors. They laugh. They like it. We've shown scenes at Comic-Con, WonderCon. They all like it. I've shown friends. But this is a Marvel movie. We don't test these movies. So I don't know. They don't want it getting out on the internet. It's a very secret process. So I really don't know how people are going to react to this thing. I know the people close to me seem to like it. I know that there's funny scenes, that there's scenes with a lot of heart. There's a lot of truth in it. I love the performances. I love the cast. I think the suit worked out really well. I think Ilum did a spectacular job. The score sounds good to me, and certainly the sound effects sound great. So I don't know.
Okay, so this is the alt ADR cut that's loaded.
Send them to the versions.
As of now.
Right. All right. See what we got here.
How do you think the Mark I chess piece is going to hold up?
The suit's at 48% power and falling, sir. That chess piece was never designed for sustained flight.
Keep you posted.
I've located this pass.
Pepper.
Tony! Tony, are you okay?
I'm fine. Listen.
Obadiah, he's gone insane.
I know. Listen, you better get out of there.
What am I looking at now?
And he's
Get out there right now. Understand?
Where do you think you're going? Your services are no longer required. What a waste.
So let's
That what a waste sounds. Is a waste.
Well, all those 3 lines, are they complementary is the big question.
I don't think so.
Well, they've got a.
Yeah. Assuming we could get it to
Make them
sound the
sound
same.
Your services.
Okay, because you
The
have.
whole thing about him pointing the gun, a line over pointing the gun explains why he's not smoking her, right? That's the whole thing.
That's the idea. Right? Yeah.
So your services are no longer required. I would push over that. I know we had it there once before.
Mm-hmm.
I would say I would get what a waste out of there.
Okay.
And I would
Here,
just
should I
put.
duplicate your thing down
Sure.
here? Okay, where are you working? ADR workbench?
Yeah.
Okay. So right here.
He hates when directors point at the screen during photo ops. I do it all the time now.
Where do you think you're going? Your services are no longer required.
Okay, so we're talking about moving that right here
Sure,
and
so-
getting rid of what a waste. Okay.
Yes.
And there's like
Right
mixed
there.
downs because that stuff is
And
so
then
low.
I'm gonna.
Oh, you're
I'll cue
using
it.
mixed downs?
Yes, so we'll just write.
They'll be just in the dialogue tracks too.
That's even worse.
There's
If a director snaps, he loses his fingers.
These are the cuts. This is how they know it cut. You have the rhythm of the cut.
There's just, it'll just be like.
Your services are no longer required.
The only thing I think we could put in is a Pepper Potts before your services are no longer required to bridge that cut. Pepper Potts.
You could tell me that this thing barely made its money back in its theatrical release, I would believe you, or that it blew up, and I would believe that too. I know there's a lot of big movies coming out this summer, and they look good. As the head of Sony Distribution told me last time around, he says there's only so many seats in the bus, and you know, you got about 3 or 4 movies get to be a hit in either a holiday season or a summer season, and you're either in it or you're not.
Pepper Potts.
Pepper Potts.
Pepper Potts. Your services are no longer required.
Pepper Potts.
Come on, Jeremy, you said that was a good one.
Pepper Potts. That was the studio select.
That was the one that came with the line, Pepper Potts, I have the feeling you're trying to avoid me. So beautiful, what a waste.
I know that I'm proud of it. I know that we've done everything we can. I know that we're hitting some sort of note because we're getting feedback. After Comic-Con, we showed the footage, people got on board and got excited about it. And now it's being spoken of in the same breath as like Batman and Indiana Jones. I mean, we weren't part of that conversation when we started off. We were like an unknown quantity. It built from like a small little grassroots thing into something where people are anticipating it. So I know the awareness is there, which is something I didn't have on Zathura, the last film I worked on. So it feels different than that.
As our first film out of the gate, I couldn't be happier. I couldn't be more proud of the film that we've put together, of the team that we've put together, of the cast that we've put together, and of John. It feels very, very good to have this kind of buzz on a character that outside of the hardcore Marvel fans, most people didn't know a year ago. Most people go, well, oh, was he the guy in the metal and the suit and with the goatee? Maybe people knew. And now the name Tony Stark is as famous as the name Iron Man. It feels exciting. It feels like people are ready to go out there and start the summer off with our film, which is going to deliver.
With the first one out, people seem to be, ready for the thing. Let's see if that internet buzz translates to a larger buzz and an anticipation with the general audience. But I do feel confident going in, and I get the suspicion that I'll be doing more of these, and it could potentially change the nature of my whole life and my whole career.
I'm in great company, and I've never had it so good.
Is it cool to be directing a movie, like a comic book movie?
It's awesome, man. I grew up reading this thing, and now here I'm making this movie.